I never realized until I read the comments on my video how many people dislike the Mayfair Witches, and it sucks because I agree with them for a lot of it. At times, the plot was extremely lackluster and incredibly boring, and to me, this is something that's becoming symptomatic of a lot of TV shows today. Now, much like American Horror Story Delicate, the Mayfair Witches had massive pacing issues. To me, this was one of the biggest issues within the TV show. At times, it felt very slow, and then they focused on things that didn't actually add to the plot, and other times it felt very fast and almost like you couldn't keep up with it, or like they should have spent more time developing that area of the season. Sadly, this is something that I don't see going away anytime soon. But what makes it even worse is when a show is broken up into two parts and the first part doesn't deliver and the second part falls short. Now you've wasted the time of an entire audience and several months in between. And if you can't commit to a time gap that has an awesome delivery at the end, don't commit to it at all, because I would rather just waste 10 hours watching a TV show all at once than to have to come back a month later only to be disappointed. The second biggest issue that I saw the Mayfair Witches have, and very similar to this season of Bridgerton, is the more interesting side character. Now, this is something that's not unheard of for a main character to become less popular and less interesting than a side character. Usually, this can result in a spin-off, but I think this is happening all too frequently. In the case of Rowan Fielding, the main character for the Mayfair Witches, she was a very flat character in my opinion. Now, to the showrunner's credit, I definitely think they kept the integrity of Rowan's character, with her being a doctor, being stoic, and being very introverted. It makes sense that we don't know her thoughts and feelings like we should, but I keep remembering that we're the audience and not a member of the show, so we're not interacting with Rowan. We're watching Rowan, and so we should be getting those emotions. We should be getting those experiences with her. Now, in contrast, we had members like Tessa, we had members like Joe. All of the members of the Mayfair Witches that existed outside of Rowan were so vibrant and so colorful and so interesting, and I could have spent a whole TV show watching them, but we got Rowan instead. Hopefully next season, I know we're getting one, they're going to focus more on the family as a whole. That way we don't have to focus on Rowan in the event she's still boring. And the last and final issue I think the Mayfair Witches had was plot creep. Plot creep as a result of the previous two issues, i.e. pacing and more interesting side characters. As a result, the TV show was pulled in way too many different directions. It was hard to focus in on one particular thing, and when you're limited to a certain number of episodes per season, you can't really waste time, especially when you're going to make a whole bunch of characters in that season. Everybody cannot get their own storyline. And so I think with the Mayfair Witches, I'm hoping that next season they fix those things, work on the pacing. I hope they work on Rowan's character. And for goodness sakes, I hope they run these by several test audiences and really take and apply their feedback. But anyways, if you guys think I missed something, drop it in the comments and I will see you guys in my next video.